14th August 2023, Morning Murli, Om Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, pay attention to the philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action, and don't perform any sinful actions with your physical organs. Make a donation, and the bad omens of the eclipse will be removed. Question: by following Father Brahma, in which aspect do your children become seated on the throne in the future? Answer: Father Brahma surrendered everything he had, including his body, and gave everything to serve the children in the name of God. He ensured himself directly and thereby received the kingdom of the world. Follow the Father in the same way. You have to claim a certificate of being worthy. Become real children and serve with your bodies, minds, and wealth. Become the Father's true helpers. By ensuring everything, you can claim a right to a kingdom for 21 births. Song: do not forget the days of your childhood. Om Shanti. You sweetest children heard the song. Your children have now died alive and taken the lap of the Father in order to go from this world to that world. Which Father is He? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, means God. Whenever you explain, you mustn't say that Baba is a Jyotirlingam or that he is the form of light, brighter than 1,000 suns. To say this is in fact wrong. What should you say? God, that is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, always reside in the Supreme Abode. The Supreme means the highest on high, the incorporeal Father. He is the Father of all souls, and this is why he is called the Supreme. He doesn't enter the cycle of birth and death. He explains, children, if I too entered the cycle of birth and death, who would give salvation to everyone? I alone come and take everyone beyond sorrow. I am the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. But no one knows this. On the path of devotion, people continue to sing, "O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul." They definitely consider him to be the Father, but they don't know what their Father is like or what he is. He doesn't have the form of a human being. People also remember Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. They can be seen with these eyes, but who is Shiv? People go to a Shiv temple, but they don't know why they remember him. The Father sits here and explains, when the deities go onto the path of sin, they build the temples to Somnath. The only thing they understand is that he is shivbaba, but they don't know that he is the creator of heaven or that he is the one who makes us into the masters of heaven. If they knew this, they would tell others the biography of shivbaba. It is fixed in the drama for them not to know. To know means to receive the inheritance. Not to know means to lose the inheritance. The Father says, I, the creator of heaven, give you happiness and make you pure. Then the 5 vices make you impure and your degrees continue to decrease. You then become ugly. At first, you were 16 celestial degrees like the full moon. You were pure, but you are now eclipsed. Baba says, make a donation, and the bad omens of the eclipse will be removed. The 5 vices are said to be the eclipse of bad omens through which your souls became unhappy and ugly. The Father says, I am the Father of you Brahmins. O Brahmins, donate to me the 5 vices that you have, and the eclipse of the bad omens will be removed. After donating them today, don't do anything with them. Many storms of Maya will come, but if you became angry, you would be committing sin with your physical organs. I explained the philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action. Your action should not become sinful. I am making you children into conquerors of sinful actions. Those are the omens of Rahu. When you make a donation, the eclipse of the omens will be removed. The father says, "My sweet children, donate those 5 evil spirits. There is no question of any money, etc. in this. He is the father, and you are real children. The father surely has to help the real children. You serve with your bodies, minds, and wealth. The father's duty is to serve you. The father says all of this belongs to you children. You have been giving to God on the path of devotion. However, God is not greedy. You are ensuring yourselves by your giving to God. God will then give you to you in your next birth. This is ensuring, is it not? You receive the fruit of it in your next birth. God is the bestower. You are now ensuring yourselves for 21 births. Those people ensure themselves for 1 birth. Here everything is ensured for 21 births. It is said, son shows the father. Look, whatever the father, means Brahma Baba had, he used it in the name of God to serve the children. He made shivbaba his here. He gave his body, mind, and wealth, and because of he did everything correctly, he received the sovereignty of the world in return through his own efforts. By belonging to me, you became the masters of heaven for 21 births, but you will receive the inheritance to the extent that you surrender yourselves. You have to surrender everything, including your bodies. Those who follow the mother and father will sit on the throne. The father says, make a donation and the eclipse of omens will be removed. If you take something back after you have donated it, you will become degraded. You have to make full effort. Effort-making students who study well claim a number. You too can make effort and claim a high number. There is no question of any difficulty in this. You simply have to remain pure. You receive power from Baba for this, and your mercury of happiness also rises. We want to become deities, and so we mustn't have any defects in us. You have to become 16 celestial degrees full and fully viceless here, and so you mustn't have any defects. You have been vicious for half a cycle, and so Maya says you are now trying to become viceless, and so I will once again make you vicious. Thus is the war with Maya that continues. This is the difficulty. You have to conquer Maya. Those people have then shown a violent war and falsified everything. You became the masters of the world by conquering Maya. Your children understand that if you don't donate the 5 vices to the father, you won't be able to marry Sri Lakshmi or Narayan. Therefore, you children should look into the mirror of your hearts. Did I do anything wrong with my physical organs? The storms of Maya that come will be stronger than they were previously. When herbalists give medicine, they warn you that all the old illnesses will erupt before you get better. You mustn't be afraid of this. They will come. That one is also the surgeon. He says, when you become my children, you will have a big war with Ravan. Maya will attack you a great deal. Therefore, you mustn't be afraid of storms. You belong to the Father, and so you must not forget this childhood. This is your godly childhood. You come into God's lap once and then into the lap of the deities for 21 births. After your godly birth, you go to heaven. Each of you has to claim a certificate. Baba, am I a worthy child or an unworthy child of yours? Baba can tell you which number worthy child you are. Baba can tell you what is still lacking in you. You can understand for yourselves. If I do not do service, how can I claim such a high status? Acha, Baba tells you what to do. Open a hospital come college. You may not go there, but when many people receive a cure there, you will receive the reward of that. Human beings build dharamshalas so that many people can rest there, and so they would receive a very good palace in their next birth. Many children come to Baba and say, open this hospital and we will help you. Open a big hospital. If you don't have time to take this knowledge, then just take 3 feet of land and open this hospital come college. Through the hospital, you will become ever healthy, and through the college, you will become ever wealthy. When many people become this, you will accumulate the charity of that. There is not a lot of expense in this. People nowadays earn so much money. They have properties worth millions. Will their sons and grandsons, etc., eat from that? They won't even get the dust. Everything is to be destroyed. The poor ones receive a kingdom. Baba is the Lord of the poor. This Baba was a number one ordinary person. Someone who just has 1 or 2,000 would be called a poor person. Here, even the poor can claim a high status. What would you do with 100,000 or a million of someone's? Establishment is carried out with every penny of the poor. Gandhiji used to receive so many donations, and yet so many people died in that. They endured so much difficulty. You don't have any difficulty. The father says, first of all, study Raj Yoga and the kingdom will be given to you. This kingdom here is like a marriage. There is the story of Draupadi inviting Duryodhan to her palace, and when he came, he saw a lake and began to take off his clothes. So Draupadi told him, blind child of the blind, that is just a marriage. They all think that they have received their self-sovereignty, but there is so much sorrow. People are so unhappy. Death is standing just ahead. The father says, all are already dead. This is a graveyard, and you have to make it into the land of angels. You will build palaces studded with diamonds and pearls. Here it is a land of stones, whereas there it will be a land of gold. Therefore the father explains, when you make a donation, the eclipse of the omens will be removed, and you will then become 16 celestial degrees full. You are now impure. Human beings are so unhappy. When war takes place, people lose their sleep. They are unable to sleep. They sleep by taking sleeping pills. This is the kingdom of Ravan. They will now burn Ravan and Dashera. They will continue to burn it till the end, until destruction takes place. After destruction, Ravan's image will not be burned. Then, in the Copper Age, they will again create Ravan in order to burn him. They burn Ravan every year, but he just doesn't die. You celebrate Raksha Bandhan and have a Rakhi tied every year, and yet you also become impure again. Lakshmi and Narayan had so much wealth. They are worshipped so much. They don't worship Lakshmi alone. They worship the four-armed image. Both are included in that. Together with Lakshmi, Narayan is also needed. They worship both of them. How could anything function without a couple? This is a family part. You become the masters of the world. Some children say that. Other people tell them, if you don't worship Lakshmi at Diwali, wealth will not come to you. Therefore, Baba advises you, children, just play your parts as detached observers. Otherwise, there will be conflict. Baba says, if you have to get your daughter married, simply play your part as a detached observer. Otherwise, there will be a quarrel. If the daughter doesn't want to remain wifeless, then in those desperate circumstances, get her married. If she doesn't want to remain pure, then just let her go. Don't harass her. A Kumari is one who uplifts 21 generations. All of you are Brahma Kumaris, and your business is to make everyone into a master of heaven. Ask your heart, how many do I make the same as myself? This is a mission. Here, you change human beings into deities, and so you have to make a lot of effort. You are God's helpers. I liberate you from sorrow and make you into the masters of heaven. I am altruistic. I give you the kingdom and go into retirement. I have no desire to rule a kingdom. I give you the kingdom. You can take your fortune of the kingdom once again. You know that you were deities. You have gone through the 84 births, and today you are part of Ravan's community. People always burn an effigy of Ravan. They never worship Ravan. Those who give happiness are worshipped. They make an image of Ravan and then burn it. He always causes sorrow. How can you praise someone who causes you sorrow? Shivbaba is the bestower of happiness. People go and offer flowers to him every day, but they don't know his occupation. Nowadays, there is a lot of blind faith. Baba says you mustn't forget the Father who gives you the happiness of heaven. Otherwise, you won't be able to receive the abundance of happiness of heaven. Since you say Mama, Baba, you will go to heaven, but you will become maids and servants. You children have understood the meaning of the song. After belonging to God, you must not forget this childhood. You have changed from devilish children into godly children, and you are to become deity children. This is your godly birth. At this time, you are servers. You are spiritual, social workers. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, after taking a godly birth, don't perform any wrong actions. Become a worthy child. Remove the defects and imbibe divine virtues. Second point, become godly helpers and make others equal to yourselves by doing spiritual service. Take 3 feet of land and open a spiritual hospital, come college. Become a full helper with your body, mind, and wealth. Blessing. May you become free from worrying, and by being a karma yogi, perform every action efficiently and successfully. Explanation. Many children worry about earning an income and sustaining their family. But those who worry cannot become successful in earning an income. Put aside your worries, be a karma yogi, and then perform actions. When you have yoga, you will accomplish every task efficiently and successfully. If you earn money with worry, that will only create more worries. Whereas if you earn it happily by being yog yukta, it will bring you happiness, because as is the seed, so is the fruit that emerges from it. Slogan. Become a holy swan that pricks up pearls in the form of virtues, not one who picks up stones. Om Shanti.